Welcome to our exploration of the autocratic trap, a common challenge faced by leaders and managers in all types of organizations. The autocratic trap refers to the tendency of leaders to centralize decision-making, often out of a desire for control or efficiency. While this approach can sometimes yield quick results, it can also stifle creativity, lower team morale, and hinder long-term growth. In this video, we'll dive deep into understanding when it's appropriate to maintain control and when it's wiser to delegate. Let's begin by defining what the autocratic trap is and why it matters in today's dynamic work environments. Autocratic leadership is a style where one individual holds most of the decision-making power. This leader typically makes choices based on their own ideas and judgments, rarely seeking input from others. While this can lead to fast decisions, it often leaves team members feeling undervalued and disengaged. Understanding this leadership style is crucial because it sets the stage for recognizing when it becomes a trap. By being aware of its characteristics, leaders can better assess their own tendencies and make more balanced choices. How do so many leaders fall into the autocratic trap? The answer often lies in the appeal of control. When leaders feel responsible for outcomes, they may believe that keeping all decisions in their hands is the safest route. This desire for control can be driven by past experiences, organizational culture, or even fear of failure. However, while control can bring short-term clarity, it may also limit the team's ability to innovate and grow. Recognizing this appeal is the first step toward breaking free from the trap. How can you tell if you've fallen into the autocratic trap? Some common signs include micromanaging team members, making all key decisions alone, and rarely seeking feedback. You might also notice a lack of initiative among your team, as they become accustomed to waiting for your direction. These patterns can be subtle at first but often lead to frustration and disengagement over time. Being able to spot these signs early allows leaders to adjust their approach before negative effects take hold. Autocratic leadership can sometimes deliver impressive short-term results. Decisions are made quickly and tasks are executed efficiently. However, these gains often come at a cost. Over time, team members may lose motivation, creativity can decline, and turnover rates may rise. The long-term health of the organization can suffer as a result. Leaders must weigh the immediate benefits of control against the potential long-term drawbacks, keeping the bigger picture in mind. Delegation is the process of entrusting tasks and decision-making authority to others. When done well, it empowers team members, builds trust, and fosters professional growth. Delegation is not about relinquishing all control but about sharing responsibility in a way that benefits everyone. Leaders who delegate effectively often see increased engagement, better problem-solving, and a more resilient organization. Let's explore how to delegate without losing sight of your goal. There are situations where maintaining control is necessary. For example, during a crisis or when dealing with sensitive information, a leader's direct involvement can ensure clarity and security. In these moments, quick, decisive action is often required, and delegation may not be practical. Understanding when to step in and take charge is a key skill for any leader. The challenge is to recognize these moments without making them the default approach. Delegation is most effective when tasks can be handled by others without compromising quality or security. Routine operations, creative projects, and tasks that develop team skills are all excellent opportunities to delegate. By sharing responsibility, leaders free up their own time for strategic thinking and allow team members to grow. The key is to match the right tasks with the right people, ensuring everyone has the support they need to succeed. Trust is the foundation of effective delegation. Leaders must believe in their team's abilities and provide the necessary resources and guidance. When team members feel trusted, they are more likely to take initiative and deliver high-quality results. Building trust takes time and consistent effort, but the rewards are significant. A culture of trust leads to greater collaboration, innovation, and overall job satisfaction. Many leaders struggle with the fear of letting go. They worry that tasks won't be completed to their standards or that mistakes will reflect poorly on them. Overcoming this fear requires a shift in mindset. Leaders must accept that mistakes are part of the learning process and that growth comes from experience. By providing clear expectations and support, leaders can gradually build confidence in their team's abilities. Effective delegation begins with setting clear expectations. Leaders should communicate the desired outcomes, deadlines, and any important guidelines. This clarity helps team members understand what is required and reduces the risk of misunderstandings. Regular check-ins and feedback sessions can further ensure that everyone stays on track. When expectations are clear, both leaders and team members can feel more confident in the delegation process. Not every task is suitable for delegation. Leaders should assess which responsibilities can be shared and which require their direct involvement. Tasks that are routine, time-consuming, or developmental are often good candidates for delegation. On the other hand, strategic decisions or confidential matters may need to remain with the leader. By carefully selecting tasks, leaders can maximize efficiency and team growth. Delegation works best when tasks are matched to the skills and interests of team members. Leaders should take the time to understand each person's strengths and areas for growth. Assigning tasks that align with these strengths increases the likelihood of success and boosts motivation. It also provides valuable learning experiences, helping team members develop new competencies over time. Delegation is not a hands-off process. Leaders must provide the necessary support and resources to ensure team members can succeed. This might include training, access to information, or regular check-ins. By being available to answer questions and offer guidance, leaders show that they are invested in their team's success. This support helps build confidence and encourages team members to take on new challenges. One of the biggest challenges in delegation is finding the balance between oversight and autonomy. Leaders should monitor progress to ensure goals are being met, but avoid micromanaging every detail. This can be achieved through regular updates, milestone reviews, and open communication. By focusing on outcomes rather than processes, leaders empower their teams while maintaining accountability. Stakes are inevitable, especially when team members are taking on new responsibilities. Leaders should view mistakes as learning opportunities rather than failures. By encouraging reflection and constructive feedback, leaders help their teams grow and improve. This approach fosters a culture of continuous learning and resilience, making the organization stronger in the long run. Recognizing and celebrating successes is an important part of delegation. When team members achieve their goals, leaders should acknowledge their efforts and contributions. This recognition boosts morale, reinforces positive behaviors, and motivates the team to continue striving for excellence. Celebrations can be as simple as a thank you note or as elaborate as a team event. The key is to make appreciation a regular part of the team culture. Delegation is a powerful tool for developing future leaders. By giving team members the chance to take on new responsibilities, leaders help them build confidence and skills. Over time, this prepares them for more advanced roles within the organization. Investing in leadership development not only benefits individuals but also strengthens the entire team, ensuring long-term success. Most effective leaders know how to balance control and delegation. They understand when to step in and when to step back, creating an environment where both structure and autonomy can thrive. This balance allows organizations to be agile, innovative, and resilient in the face of change. Leaders who master this skill are better equipped to navigate complex challenges and drive sustained success. Consider the example of an overbearing manager who insists on approving every decision, no matter how small. While this approach may seem thorough, it often leads to bottlenecks and frustration among team members. Over time, the team becomes less proactive, waiting for instructions rather than taking initiative. This case highlights the dangers of excessive control and the importance of trusting your team. Now let's look at a leader who empowers their team by delegating meaningful tasks and providing support. This leader sets clear expectations, offers guidance, and celebrates achievements. As a result, the team is motivated, engaged, and willing to take on new challenges. This case demonstrates the positive impact of effective delegation on team performance and morale. No single leadership style works in every situation. Effective leaders adapt their approach based on the needs of the team and the demands of the moment. Sometimes a more directive style is necessary, other times a collaborative approach is best. Flexibility and self-awareness are key to avoiding the autocratic trap and fostering a healthy, productive work environment. Feedback is essential for both leaders and team members. Constructive feedback helps individuals improve and grow, while also providing leaders with valuable insights into team dynamics. Regular feedback sessions create a culture of openness and continuous improvement, making it easier to identify and address issues before they escalate. Leaders who encourage initiative empower their teams to take ownership of their work. This involves creating an environment where new ideas are welcomed and mistakes are seen as opportunities to learn. By fostering initiative, leaders help their teams become more innovative, adaptable, and resilient in the face of challenges. Information is power, and leaders who share information openly empower their teams to make informed decisions. Transparency builds trust and ensures that everyone is working with the same knowledge base. This approach reduces misunderstandings and enables faster, more effective problem-solving across the organization. Micromanagement is a common symptom of the autocratic trap. Leaders who micromanage often undermine their team's confidence and stifle creativity. This can lead to high stress, low morale, and increased turnover. Recognizing the signs of micromanagement is the first step toward creating a more empowering and supportive work environment. Accountability is essential for effective delegation. Leaders should set clear expectations and hold team members responsible for their outcomes. At the same time, they must be willing to accept responsibility for their own decisions. A culture of accountability encourages everyone to take ownership of their work and strive for excellence. Collaboration is a powerful antidote to the autocratic trap. When leaders foster collaboration, they tap into the collective intelligence and creativity of the team. This leads to better solutions, stronger relationships, and a more positive work environment. Encouraging collaboration requires open communication, mutual respect, and a willingness to listen to diverse perspectives. Every team member brings unique skills and perspectives to the table. Leaders who recognize and value these contributions create a more inclusive and motivated team. Simple gestures like public recognition or personalized feedback can go a long way in making team members feel appreciated and engaged. Emotional intelligence is a critical skill for leaders seeking to avoid the autocratic trap. It involves being aware of your own emotions and those of others, and using this awareness to guide your interactions. Leaders with high emotional intelligence are better able to build trust, resolve conflicts, and inspire their teams. Remote work presents unique challenges for delegation and control. Leaders must find new ways to communicate, build trust, and monitor progress from a distance. Clear expectations, regular check-ins, and the use of digital tools can help maintain alignment and accountability. Flexibility and empathy are especially important when leading remote teams. Some team members may resist delegation, either out of fear of failure or a lack of confidence. Leaders can address this resistance by providing support, encouragement, and opportunities for skill development. Open communication and a willingness to listen to concerns are key to overcoming resistance and building a more empowered team. Organizational culture plays a significant role in shaping leadership styles and attitudes toward delegation. A culture that values collaboration, trust, and continuous learning is more likely to support effective delegation. Leaders can influence culture by modeling desired behaviors and reinforcing positive values throughout the organization. There are many tools and techniques that can support effective delegation. Project management software, communication platforms, and performance tracking systems all help leaders assign tasks, monitor progress, and provide feedback. Choosing the right tools for your team can streamline workflows and make delegation more efficient. Regularly evaluating the outcomes of delegated tasks helps leaders identify what is working and where improvements are needed. This evaluation should focus on both results and the development of team members. By reflecting on successes and challenges, leaders can refine their approach and achieve better outcomes in the future. Leadership is a journey of continuous improvement. Effective leaders seek feedback, reflect on their experiences, and strive to grow. By embracing a mindset of learning and adaptation, leaders can avoid the pitfalls of the autocratic trap and create a more dynamic, successful organization. Diversity of thought is a powerful driver of innovation and problem-solving. Leaders who encourage diverse perspectives create a richer, more creative environment. This requires openness to new ideas and a willingness to challenge assumptions. By valuing diversity, leaders can avoid groupthink and make better decisions. Leaders set the tone for the entire organization. Their attitudes toward control and delegation influence the behaviors of everyone around them. By modeling trust, openness, and a willingness to delegate, leaders can inspire others to do the same. This top-down approach is essential for creating a culture of empowerment and accountability. Periods of change and uncertainty can test a leader's ability to balance control and delegation. In these times, clear communication, flexibility, and trust are more important than ever. Leaders must be willing to adapt their approach, provide reassurance, and empower their teams to navigate challenges together. Leaders who try to do everything themselves risk burnout and decreased effectiveness. Delegation is not just about empowering others, it's also about protecting your own well-being. By sharing responsibilities, leaders can focus on high-impact activities and maintain their energy and enthusiasm for the long term. Self-awareness is a cornerstone of effective leadership. Leaders must regularly reflect on their own behaviors, motivations, and impact on others. By being honest about their strengths and areas for growth, leaders can make more intentional choices about when to control and when to delegate. Even the most experienced leaders benefit from mentorship and support. Seeking advice from peers, mentors, or coaches can provide valuable perspective and guidance. This support network helps leaders navigate challenges, avoid common pitfalls, and continue growing in their roles. Great leaders leave a lasting legacy by empowering others and building strong, resilient teams. By mastering the balance between control and delegation, leaders ensure that their organizations can thrive long after they have moved on. This legacy is built on trust, collaboration, and a commitment to continuous improvement. To avoid the autocratic trap, leaders must be mindful of when to control and when to delegate. Effective delegation builds trust, develops future leaders, and drives organizational success. By fostering a culture of accountability, collaboration, and continuous learning, leaders can create a more dynamic and resilient workplace. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the autocratic trap. Remember, leadership is about balance, knowing when to take charge and when to empower others. By practicing self-awareness, seeking feedback, and embracing delegation, you can become a more effective and inspiring leader. Continue to reflect, learn, and grow as you lead your team to new heights.